Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Ellen and I am the creator behind Sew and Inspire. It is time to chat through everything I made in 2024. This year has been a slightly different year for me in terms of my knitting, but I know you guys love these videos and I absolutely love watching these videos, so I still wanted to do one even if it is a bit less than, well, what I've made in previous years and what's kind of normal for me. If you don't know, at the start of the year I was very unwell. My mental health went to a really bad place and it really affected my knitting. I actually stopped knitting for about 5 or 6 months, which, if you know me not knitting means there's something seriously wrong. But I managed to pick up my needles again around May, June time. So this is kind of everything I've made since May. As I said, it is a bit less, but I still really wanted to document what I've made this year and it might give you a bit of inspiration too. Okay, enough of the ramble, let's get on to what I made. I think I'm going to go through all of the garments which I knit first and then I'll move on to the accessories. First thing I made, actually I don't think anyone has ever seen. I don't think I've posted about it anywhere. This I cast on right at the end of 2023 and finished it off early 2024. It was a super quick project. I don't normally knit chunky things, so when I do I'm like, wow, that bit up quick. But it is the Donna Jenna by Joanna Ang. I'm so sorry if I pronounced any of that wrong, but it is this absolutely gorgeous circular yoke cabled sweater. I fell in love with it when I saw it. I think these cables are beautiful and I've never seen cables like this in just like a circular yoke, and then the rest of the body and the sleeves are just plain stockinette. I really love how this sweater fits. I think the proportions of like the sleeves and the body are just like perfectly slightly oversized. I think this is actually the first circular yoke that I have made for myself and the fit is really great. The yarn that I used for this, I actually unravelled. You may recognise it because I actually unravelled one of my first, I think it was the first ever sweater I made. I didn't follow a pattern of that sweater and the sleeves were massive and it was in chunky yarn, and I just decided I wanted to re-knit it into something that I would actually probably wear a bit more. So the yarn is King Cole Timeless Chunky, which is, the majority is acrylic, but I think it has a little bit of alpaca in it. It feels really soft to the touch, but I haven't worn this because I went to put it on the other day because it was cold enough to wear and I found it too itchy at the neck. I am extremely sensitive to yarns, which is something I have learned this year, so I have to be kind of careful with which yarn I pick. So it has to be really cold for me to wear this because A, it's chunky, and B, I have to wear like a high necked top underneath so the neck doesn't bother me. But it's, I wish I could wear it more because it's so beautiful and I love it so much. I love the fit. The pattern was like really clear to follow with all these cables. It just talks you through it really well. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. I probably wouldn't have re-knit it if I knew that was going to be the case, but I'm super proud of this. I'd 100% knit it again and I think it's gorgeous. Okay, the next thing I knit, which was kind of the first thing that I knit when I picked up my needles again, was actually a gift for one of my best friends. I knit the Zipper Sweater Man Light by Petite Knit. I have knit the normal zipper sweater for my dad, but I thought that would be a bit chunky for him, so I knit the Zipper Sweater Light for him, and I think he liked it. I put a lot of hours into it because it is a man's sweater, so there was a lot of knitting. Why is the body and arms so long on a male sweater? Anyway, but it was so worth it to see his face when he opened it. I think he was quite surprised, so that was nice. I knit it in King Cole Anti-Tickle Merino, I think it's called, the DK one, and I knit it in black because I just thought black will go with everything and just hopefully be a really nice staple piece. I would absolutely love a zipper sweater for myself, and I think it is definitely on the cards for me in 2025. I'm really interested to know how well this yarn has held up because it feels really nice. I think it's something that I could definitely wear as someone who is very sensitive. I mean, clues in the name, it's called Anti-Tickle, but it felt really soft. It felt really nice to work with, so I'll be interested to try that on again for myself as well. Okay, next up we have one that I also don't have with me because this was a sample knit for Botanical Yarn. I've never sample knit for them before, so yeah, I was super excited to get that experience. I knit the Albina sweater by Caitlin Hunter for them, which is a bottom up drop shoulder striped sweater with like short ribbed edges but with a rolled hem as well. I absolutely love the look of this. Obviously I feel like rolled hems were very in this year. They definitely had a moment, and I was really intrigued to knit a sweater like that. I don't normally do bottom up sweaters, so this was a bit of a change for me. I have a love-hate relationship with bottom up sweaters. I feel like I never get the fit right when I do a bottom up sweater, but they seem like they go quicker. I don't know if that's just me, but because you do the body first, you get like the main chunk of it out the way, so it's quite nice for a change. The yarn they sent me to use was a wool and linen mix. I've never used a yarn of that composition before. I don't believe they have actually brought this base to the shop as of yet, if they will, but if they do, I would definitely be intrigued to knit myself a sweater with the yarn because it was really nice. It was really soft, and I absolutely love the colours that they sent me. This like neutral beige with the pop of bright pink for the stripes. I just love it, and honestly it was in my mum's size, so when she tried it on she was like, do we have to send this back? Okay, now we have one I can actually show you. I knit the Lunan tee as a test knit for Rebecca Clow, which is the Creabear. You probably all know her, but this was one of her summer patterns this year, and I fell in love with it when I saw it. I have a bit of a thing for 3x1 rib. I just love it for some reason, and I also love those like polo collar sweaters. I am dying to knit one for myself, and I feel like this has to be the year for me to do it because I've been wanting one for so long. So when I signed up for the test knit, I couldn't decide which one I preferred, if I preferred the round neck or the polo collar. So I just ticked both boxes and let her decide for me, and she picked me for the round neck. I did the DK weight version, So the Lunan is a sort of mini drop shoulder sweater. It has the really lovely increased detail here, and then when you knit the sleeves you do some short rows to help lift, like push the sleeve cap down so it doesn't flare out weirdly, because it is not like a hugely oversized drop shoulder. The yarn that I used for this was, I used 2 strands held together. One of them was woolly knit 100% cotton, which I really like that yarn, in like the navy blue colour, I can't remember what it's called. And then 1 strand of Holstgarn Coast, which is a cotton and wool blend in like this darker navy, so you may be able to see the fabric is a bit marled, which I really love how this turned out with holding the 2 yarns together. I think I knit mine probably at least 1 size up from what's kind of recommended for my bust circumference, because I prefer things more oversized, and I absolutely love the fit of it. It's a really nice length. It's not cropped at all, it just hits perfectly. The only thing is it is quite thick, being a DK weight, so the number of days where it's appropriate to wear this kind of top is kind of limited, but I love it nonetheless, and I would definitely consider knitting the fingering weight version, possibly with the polo collar, because I absolutely love this design. Next up we have another gift knit. I may have done a lot less knitting this year, but I did not really do any less gift knitting. I knit the Eva cardigan by Petite Knit for one of my mum's lovely friends who is so knit worthy, and she absolutely loved it, and it just brought me so much joy. Absolutely loved knitting the Eva cardigan. I had never done that kind of construction before, and I really enjoyed it, and it definitely will not be my last, and I don't even think it will be my last Eva cardigan, because I kind of have one planned for myself, because I fell in love with it and was a bit sad to let it go. The yarn that I used was Anchor Cotton and Wool, which I bought from the Knit Lounge in Grey Shot, which is a new yarn shop which opened last year, and we got the yarn on my first visit there when I was well enough to go, and yeah, it was really nice to work with. It's as the name suggests, it's a cotton and wool mix, so I thought this would be a good yarn to go for, with that had a lot of cotton in it, so it would be good for the warmer months and also a bit easier to care for. I just hope that it doesn't stretch out too much because of the cotton, but I'm hoping because it has wool in there too, it will be okay. Just the whole vibe of it, I just think it just is a great everyday cardigan, and I cannot wait to knit one for myself. Next up we have my second test knit of the year, which was the Sennen sweater by Sophie of the Knit Pearl Girl. I actually knit this one for my mum. My mum fell in love with this sweater when she saw it on Instagram, and she asked me if I'd knit it for her. So I applied for the test knit and I got accepted, and I love it. I share this with my mum. I adore it too. I went for this navy with this powder pink stripe for the colourwork stripes. It has a really gorgeous sleeve detail, the decreases here on the sleeve, and also lateral braid detailing before all the ribbings, which I absolutely love. It's a drop shoulder design. The yarn that I used was one that I had never even heard of before. I used World of Wool Fluff, which is one of the yarns that Sophie recommended, and I love it. I can wear this. It's, for me, soft enough around my neck where I can wear it and be comfortable, but it's still got that lovely woolly feel, which is really good for the colour work. I think it turned out really lovely in the colour work too. Something went a bit wrong with this sweater, to be honest, because it has turned out smaller than it should have. I feel like an awful test knitter, but I did a gauge swatch, I promise, but I don't know what happened, but when I measured my gauge on the finished garment, it is too tight. Luckily it still fits my mum absolutely fine, but it should have been more oversized, which is the reason why I can get away with wearing it too. Okay, I think we are at my final garment for 2025, and this only just made the cut. I finished this on New Year's Eve and I'm just in love with it. I can't wait to wear it. It's my Midland cardigan. I adore this cardigan with all my heart. As soon as I saw Laura make it, I fell in love with it. Couldn't wait for the pattern, and I was lucky enough to test knit this for her. The pattern isn't out yet, it's coming out late January, I believe. I decided to make mine in my favourite colour, baby pink. Not sure if this colour really suits me, but I don't care because I love it. So I'm going to wear it with much pride, and I don't have any pink cardigans, so I needed to fix that. But if you're not familiar with the Midland, it is constructed so interestingly. It's basically knit from side to side, so you cast on under the underarm and then work over back and forth. Then you do some shaping for this front, work across the back, do some shaping for the other front, then continue working and cast off under this arm. It has these really lovely faux seam details to kind of help keep it structured, because it is knit in garter stitch, so which obviously does have a tendency to stretch, and then the faux seam carries on down the top of the sleeve as well. The yarn that I used for this was Drops Daisy. I have never used Drops Daisy before and was really intrigued to try it, and I love it. I can't tell you how it wears, obviously, because I only finished this a few days ago, but I have heard it does pill a lot, so we will see. But I love it. It's so soft, so lovely to work with. I'd highly recommend, if you're sensitive to yarn, to try Drops Daisy, because so far I have zero itch factor from it. I chose these really lovely shell buttons, which I think just go perfectly with the pink. But I can already tell you this cardigan is going to get so much wear in 2025 and for forever more, because I love it and I'm super proud of it. Okay, so they are all of the garments which I knitted in 2024. So now I'm going to move on to accessories. First up, we have my mini Maxine. I absolutely love this little guy. I preview knit this for Laura because I'm part of her Patreon, and she did that on her Patreon when she did the update for the Maxine hot water bottle cover to include a mini version. As someone who uses hot water bottles a lot and also loves a mini one, I was very excited about this. Couldn't wait to knit it, and I absolutely love my colour palette that I chose. I cannot remember the yarn that I used for this. I got this big bag of yarn from someone who was having a clear out, and it's 100% wool, so it was perfect for this. DK weight. I had the navy and the white, and then the pink is leftover Grey Sheep Co. Hampshire 4-ply held double. I just thought the pop of pink would work perfectly with the navy and the white. I did a 1x1 ribbed like cuff, and I think I knit this across like 2 days. It was a super quick project, a lovely little bit of colour work for the year, although I did make a mistake which I probably shouldn't point out, but I have it as the back. But can you tell? Let me know if you can spot the mistake. All the rest of my accessories that I've not used this year, I don't actually have anymore because they were all gifts, but I made 3 pairs of socks this year, 2 out of the same yarn actually. The first pair was this lovely green pair. I got this yarn in the Beehive Yarns Christmas Eve box from 2023, and I thought it'd be absolutely perfect for one of my mum's friends because she loves green, so I thought it would be perfect. I just knit vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars, 64 stitches, and did 2x2 ribbing for the cuff, and then I had enough yarn left over from that to make another pair of socks for my nana for her birthday, but I did have to add in the mini skein which came with it, luckily, so it went really well, for the cuff, heel and toe, which I've never done before. I absolutely love the look of it, but my god, are there so many ends to weave in. As someone whose least favourite job is to weave in ends, I did not enjoy that, but it was well worth it because A, it was for my nana, and B, I think they turned out beautifully, and now I have 0 of that yarn in stash, so that felt really good. I then also knit a pair of pink and orange socks for a lovely friend who had requested some pink and orange socks, so when I found this yarn I was incredibly happy. I think I found it on Etsy. I think the seller was called Dye's Yarn, and I believe the colourway was Orange Blossom or something like that, but I think they turned out really good. I love them. I think they're so fun. They're definitely my colours, so again it was a bit difficult to part with them, but yeah, they turned out super fun. I did the exact same thing, vanilla socks, 64 stitches, knitsy pelty ribbing for the cuff, and she was delighted with them. Okay, we have 2 more things. They were both Christmas gift knits. First one was the Cloudburst mittens by Ariane Gray. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I knit these for my nana for Christmas. For these I used Knitting for Olive merino and Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in this lovely plum colour. I think they turned out beautifully. I have never used Knitting for Olive before, so it's my first time, and it definitely will not be my last. I don't love the Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair. I didn't find it the softest. I don't know if it's because I was using quite a dark colour, but yeah, that might be an unpopular opinion, but I enjoyed knitting them, obviously, nonetheless. This is a free pattern as well. I really wanted to try it, and I had the yarn in stash and thought they would go perfectly together, and I thought my nana would love them. They just have a really lovely simple lace motif up the front, which I think looks beautiful. And then the final thing which I made in 2024 was the Chale Saison by Lane Poudres. I am so sorry, my French accent is non-existent, but it is an absolutely beautiful shawl pattern and it's free as well. For the main purpley colour, I used Creative Anarchy Comfort Base in the colourway Dust, but it was an oopsie skein, so the colourway Dust doesn't actually look like that, but it's similar. And then I just used a bare undyed sock yarn for the contrast colour for the lace sections, and I think it turned out beautifully. I think the 2 colours work so well together. I made this for my granny for Christmas and she absolutely loved it, and I was so excited to get to knit this shawl because I fell in love with it when I saw it and I was like, who can I knit this shawl for? I love doing lace, I love challenging that part of my brain, and then you had like the garter stitch sections, which was just lovely easy knitting in between. I couldn't recommend this pattern enough. Either the whole thing is written out, it's not charted, which I will say if you prefer charted lace then you may not like this. I think we made it. I think we made it through everything that I knit in 2024. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. That would mean the world to me and really does help me out and help me find more like-minded people to connect with through my little corner of the internet. If you don't know, I also do, well, they will be monthly knitting podcasts. I would love for you to go and check them out if you are interested in that kind of thing. I absolutely love sitting down and just chatting through my projects and connecting with like-minded people, because I don't have any real life knitting friends really, so it's really nice outlet for me to chat about knitting and just ramble on about what I love. So yeah, if you do enjoy those, they will be every month going forward this year. And if you're a sewist or just interested in sewing and what people have made, my next video will be in everything I made in 2024, which I'm really excited about. I was so unwell, didn't get a chance to do it last year, so I'm really looking forward to sitting down and seeing how much I've achieved this year. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will love you and leave you. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you very soon for a brand new video. Bye!